Hey guys, just so you guys know, I told you in the last video that this video was going to be a two-parter. So here I am with part two of my promise. And just so you guys know, I hope you learned a little something, a little glimpse into my life from that video. Not just that, but I hope and I pray that in some way that video inspired you to hopefully, if you are dealing with some darkness, some depression, some uncertainty at this point in your life, that hopefully it gave you a reason to find a lifesaver of sorts, to latch onto to get you through whatever it is that you're going through, no matter how hard or bad it may seem. So, with all that being said, like I said, I told you this video was going to be a two-parter. So here's part two of that. So let's get into it. Now, after everything was all said and done with me listening to my album of Sing the Sorrow over and over and over again by AFI, I finally came to a conclusion in my head that in order to deal with my depression, my uncertainty, my anger, and everything else in a proactive way, that I needed some outside help, like some genuine outside help. Like I needed therapy. Now, up until this point in my life, I never once even remotely considered or even thought of therapy, but I don't know why, just for some reason the AFI CD album that I had just really helped to clear my head and make me think through a lot of things. And this was what I believe to be not just the first, but the biggest step in helping me get out of this. And so, mind you, this is possibly, no, it is the only good thing in my life that my mom has genuinely ever done for me. And she helped me to, hook up and set up my my therapist as well as my therapy appointments. And the therapist was like, "Yeah, come over to my office. It's at this building and yada yada yada." And so I went, and in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, in my first batch of therapy appointments, I was just a massive emotional mess, full stop. I was just unloading, I was leaking a lot mentally and emotionally, and it was just up until that point in my life, I don't think I had ever been that vulnerable in front of anyone else in my whole entire life up till that point. And the thing was, this, in my eyes, this therapist was a complete stranger. And so I didn't know, what his reaction would be or how this would go down or whatever. Because, I mean, therapy in and of itself was a completely new concept. It was a completely different set of factors. And so, anyway, like I said, I want to say like my first 4 or 5 therapy appointments, it was a lot for me. It was a lot just unloading every single bit of that emotion. And the more that my therapy appointments started going on, every time I went after that, I started to get more clear, more concise, and more in tune with my mind, with my thoughts, and getting all my ish out in the open in a healthy way. And I want to say I want to say it was after about a year of, it was a year or close to it. I can't necessarily remember, but I remember on one of my last appointments, it was either my last appointment or one of my last appointments, it was somewhere within that window. I remember going into his office and he imparted on me a really, really big thing that my sophomore brain just wasn't ready for. But the thing he planted in me was just so big, so significant, so massive, so monumentally life-changing. My brain just did a complete 180 in that appointment after he said this to me, which was, so I go to my appointment, and we kind of run through, some things. And then I unload him all this stuff that had been eating away at my mind and my heart. And he looked at me and he basically said, "Kyle, the decision of one person it will not affect how the rest of your life turns out, because at the end of all this, you're the deciding factor in your story and how this all turns out." I mean, he didn't necessarily word it that way, but he basically said that just in, I believe, probably a more eloquent way of than how I just said. But anyway, basically what he told me in layman's terms was that my life is basically what I make of it, and it's up to me how the story of my life goes. And after I walked out of that office, after that, I think I had like a few more therapy appointments after that, but I just remember a few days after that, like I started to notice that my brain started to clear, my heart started to get less heavy, and things in my life just started to change. I mean, yeah, I did walk out of my job at McDonald's, but you know what? The thing was I wasn't upset about it or frustrated by it or held back by it or anything because a few weeks after I left McDonald's, I got a brand spanking new job somewhere else and things started to turn, things started to change. And also because of therapy, I didn't die. I was able to be with all my high school peers for my graduation. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I would get to see my high school graduation through. But the fact that I did, honestly, the fact that I was there with all my friends, I cannot thank therapy enough for everything that it has done for me in my life. From my sophomore year of high school till now, I have never lost a single one of the lessons, a single one of the words that amazing therapist had said to me during all those appointments. By the way, if you're out there right now and if you're watching this, from the bottom of my heart and the depths of my soul, I thank you greatly, very, very much, very much. Anyway, if I could leave you with one thing right now, it's these things. One, the power of therapy is very real and it can help you. The other thing is that, like he said, you're the writer of your story. You decide how this thing goes, and it's up to you to determine how it will go. It's your decision, your choice. I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed telling you about that and giving you another sneak peek into my past. If something like this has happened to you, or you have something that kind of relates to this, please let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't be shy. Share this on like the social medias and all that. And anyway, I hope this video inspired you, and I hope maybe it entertained you. And at the end of all this, I just hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed telling you about it. All right. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.